Let's talk some Vikings positions with the deepest depth.
Oh.
All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. On this beautiful Friday, we are talking depth, the positions, our top three, the deepest depth for the Vikings.
The draft is over. Free agency is over. The Vikings could theoretically still sign a couple more players if they wanted to, but the roster is at 90, so they bring anybody else in. They got to let some other guys go. So this is pretty much the core that's going to probably go into training camp. So, yeah, what positions are deep? What positions are thin? We're not going to talk about the thin ones today. We're talking about those deep ones.
Long, girth, length. Let's see where we should go to bed at night and feel very, very good about the Vikings. Before we get to that, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get to 8,000 subs, baby. Let's do this.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And, we're actually making a pretty steady climb so far. I'm pretty happy with the progress we've had in the last couple weeks. So keep on liking the channel. All right.
And subscribe. Progress report by the Lupagus. All right. I'm going to do it. Positions. We got our own three. Are we doing this in order?
We're going to jump back and forth, I think. And I'm going to go first because that's what I do. I'm going to go with the inside linebacker position here for the Vikings. One I actually was pretty happy with the depth before the draft. You look at the top two guys, Eric Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, couple of Eric Kendricks really is still an underrated player league-wide. Very, very, very good player. Jordan Hicks also very, very good. So you got to love your starters there. Look at the depth behind. You got two young guys, Brian Asamoah, Chaz Surratt. Again, don't know what we have in either one of them, but both very, very athletic, very fast. And you got some younger guys with experience to finish this thing out. Looking at a Blake Lynch and Troy Dye, who's probably not going to make the team. I wouldn't think he would, but still, you're going to cut a guy who does have some playing experience. So top to bottom, this is a pretty deep position for the Vikings.
Top to bottom, I'd say you look pretty good too.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Inside linebacker did not make my top three. I'm very glad that you're feeling very good about them. They don't worry me. I got right guard actually as depth, and when you look at it, I think Reed, when all is said and done, at least early, will be the starter at right guard. I love Reed. Look at what the Colts talked about him. They love this guy as well. It's very underrated. They wanted him back. Not only that, we got Ingram, who is very highly touted by this coaching staff. So it'll be interesting to see where he falls in there. And then you got Jesse Davis. So probably not overly fantastic, but depth-wise, I'm feeling very good at the right guard position, whoever ends up getting it. Reed, 28 games in the last 2 years. Even Jesse Davis started 29 games in the last 2 years. And Ed Ingram is the really soggy cherry on top of this beautiful right guard Sunday.
I don't know what the hell you're doing with your hand there. Very, very scared. I can almost feel it through the screen. You can say it's deep. Obviously, we're not really talking about the quality of depth here because there's so many question marks here. I think you're right, though. Chris Reed's probably going to start. Depth behind them. At least you have an experienced guy, Jesse Davis, who has played some guard. Then you got these young guys, Ed Ingram, Wyatt Davis. Oli Udoh, again, talk about a guy who's probably going to get cut, but does have some experience. So it is a deep position. Again, the quality of the depth can be argued, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about positions are deep.
I was actually talking about the quality of this. I feel good as far as the quality. If Jesse Davis is our third option at right guard, that makes me feel good. Ed Ingram, a backup, I like the quality here.
Well, again, Ed Ingram, is he guard? Is he center? We don't know. He played a lot of guard or center at the Senior Bowl. Did very well there. So we don't know what the Vikings' plans are yet for that guy. 100% sure at this point. I'm going to go to a position I think we probably both have. I'm assuming you do. I haven't seen yours, but I'm going to go with running back. This one's the most obvious one. Delvin Cook, Alexander Madison, Kenny Ngwangu, Ty Chandler, C.J. Ham. this thing is deep. It's talented from top to bottom. I don't know how you cannot say this is not the deepest position on this entire team.
Yeah, that was definitely my number one position. So running back, it's like a pack of Starbursts. Open it up, it doesn't matter. Even the yellows are good. I think that's showing my old age, but every one you open is delicious, and that is exactly what we have at running back.
I've never been a fan of the pink ones. Just don't taste like strawberry to me.
I didn't know they were strawberry. They just taste like fruitful bliss to me.
Maybe that's the problem. I always thought I think they're supposed to be strawberry. Let us know in the comments. Are the pink ones strawberry?
Yeah, so running back is easy. Everybody can agree on that. And also, as always, comments below what you feel the deepest position is for the Vikings. What do we got for a last one? I think we're doing 3 apiece.
Yeah, my last one is actually wide receiver, and this is really based on this season. You can project it out and say it's not very deep, but look at what we got at the top. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne. Your third wide receiver had 7 touchdowns last year. Then you got the guys with the young guys with the upside. Amir Smith-Marset. I saw something today. The reason the Vikings didn't hit wide receiver earlier in the draft was because of Amir Smith-Marset. So definitely have plans for this guy. BC Johnson comes back healthy, who's got some experience. And you got the young guys, Jalen Naylor, Blake Prohl, our boy Thomas Hennigan. Yeah, so you got obviously one of the best in the league, Justin Jefferson, Star and Adam Thielen. So you got that at the top. KJ Osborne, who just came off a breakout season, young depth. Very excited about the wide receiver position for the Vikings. I think it's one of the deepest on this team as well.
I think you are a fool. If this was the greatest starters for position, I'd be all on board with this. But depth-wise, this one, if we do a ones with least depth, I bet wide receiver will be on there. I mean,
what would you want? How could it be? You look at you got young. What do you want when you want depth? You got to have obviously stars at the top. You want some experience in the bottom. Young guys with potential. The Vikings wide receiving core has all 3 of those things. So I don't know what else you're looking for when it comes to. You want 6 guys who all have 10 touchdowns? What else do you need?
I want some.
When will you be happy? When will be enough?
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you zipped it too, so I can talk. When I want depth, I want guys. I like potential. I mean, if this was potential depth, wide receiver would probably be on there. I want depth, more so either proven or a very early draft pick at the position. And aside from our top 3, which are our starting wide receivers, the last year combined, all these guys had 5 receptions. 5 receptions. So that doesn't tell me a bunch as far as depth. All these guys are almost all undrafted free agents. BC Johnson's coming back from a torn ACL, which he was dog shit even the last year he played. So depth-wise, I think it's garbage. Potential, possibly.
The other thing you got to factor in is how much more the Vikings are going to probably throw the ball this more. So I think those guys who didn't have as much numbers are going to definitely be getting more targets this year. You're going to see more 4 or 5 receiver sets. And again, KJ Osborne, if Thielen goes down, he can bump to 2. Smith can go play the slot. I think he would be amazing there. So I think you got a lot of flexibility here. And I think from top to bottom, it's a very solid group. I'm sticking by it.
You didn't comment on the fact that everybody after Osborne just had a combined 5 receptions.
I did. I said they are going to have a lot more opportunities this year to expand on those numbers. You know, the Vikings still want to run the ball 80% of the time last year. This is going to be a much heavier passing attack. So I think there'll be a lot more opportunities for those guys.
Well, opportunity doesn't mean they'll be good, but we'll see. I hope I'm dead ass wrong.
You are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd love to hear in the comments if you think wide receiver is our top depth, one of our top 3.
Oh, running back's the top. Wide receivers, another one I think is very deep.
If it should be in the top 3. My last one is safety. Lewis Seen, love the first round pick. He's fantastic. Harrison Smith, fantastic. And the fact that we got Cam Bynum in there just kind of doing whatever. I mean, last year he proved that he is definitely be a very good player in this league. We know Lewis Seen, barring some unforeseen bust, all of a sudden he comes across. He's going to be very good, and Hitman is one of the best. So safety, love it.
See, I think what you just said about wide receiver, who's behind those guys? There's nobody. So one gets hurt, you have no depth there. So yes, you're heavy at the top. I love the 2 starters. I love Cam Bynum there as a 3rd, but where's the 4th? There's nobody. Josh Metellus. I mean, there's really nobody else on this roster. Are they going to keep more than 3 safeties? So a deep position, I don't think so. I think it's a top-heavy position that the Vikings have at safety.
We usually only keep 3 safeties. So
you got to have someone else. I mean, maybe a versatile corner safety. We've kept 4 in the past. I mean, I just don't.
Last year we had 2 on the roster at one time. So if you want 9 safeties on the roster,
I don't want 9 safeties.
Comparison to wide receiver at all.
Potentially 4, and I think that 4th guy would have to have some experience. So I like the guys at the top. There's not much else if one of those do go down.
We're probably keeping just Smith, Seen, and Bynum.
I'm just saying, who's behind that? I don't know if you can call it deep if you only have 3 guys on it.
If you have 2 safeties injured, you're screwed regardless. Look at along the league. Teams keep 3, maybe 4 safeties. If your 2 starting safeties go down, you're done.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a deep position. One's a rookie who's never played. One's a guy who had some flashes last year. To call it deep, I can't do it at this point.
You just compared it to rookies and a guy who didn't play last year much. That was your whole wide receiver.
And you're saying the same exact argument you made it the wide receivers to the safety position. So I'm just saying.
But
it goes
wide
both ways here.
Receivers, you can keep they keep 5 or 6. Safety's a whole different ballgame. You keep 3, and that's the guys I mentioned.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they could keep 4, but who are they going to keep? Who is the 4th option? There's not a 4th option on this team. You're not keeping Josh Metellus.
No, you're not. That's why we're going to keep those 3, and they're fantastic.
Well, agree to disagree.
Lupagus thinks we're keeping 9 safeties.
I
Those
think
are our
I wouldn't call it a deep position. I wouldn't call it deep.
Who's a better? Hey, all right, give me this. NFC North. Who's got better safeties than those 3?
I honestly don't even know the depth chart of every team safety in NFC North.
Thank you.
So can't comment on that.
Thank you.
But I can comment on this. Kit Kats are made using imperfect Kit Kats. Nestle leaves no Kit Kat uneaten, so every rejected Kit Kat is mashed into a paste that's used to fill the wafers every time you eat a Kit Kat. You're also consuming layers of Kit Kats within other Kit Kats.